Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Donnie's blog. Um, this is episode 4. So we're really kind of digging deep into the adult learning concepts. I want to get started talking about micro learning. This is an interesting concept, particularly because we talked about it in class about micro learning and kind of how it's kind of emerging through kind of like in the previous class, I talked about kind of like how the different how technology is expanded because of COVID and because of like just the workplace environment is kind of making sure that people are learning at a different rate, and so micro learning it's pretty much like you learning. I want to read the technical term because I want to make sure. Micro learning is a way of teaching and delivering content to learners in a bite-sized burst of point and need and focus on specific training. And so, definitely, it's something that's not going to waste your time, but it's going to be what you need. Micro learning is growing. We went over several cases in class about how micro learning is growing, and I found it interesting because I think that I feel like there's something that should have been given earlier, but I think that with the rise of technology and the emergence of, people working from home or working from a hybrid setting that is growing and that because you don't have everybody in your organization a lot of times working at that place. Micro learning is good because you're able to get people what they need for their job, and they kind of move forward. And I think that that's very very important. I think that what we really have to realize is that micro learning is more than likely going to be the future. Micro learning, people are going to have to understand that by you learning things in bits and pieces at a quick pace. I think it's going to help with productivity. Now, I do understand how people say, people need to people need a little bit longer, like people who deal with safety, people who deal with certain things that probably need a little bit more focus. I think that, I understand how people may say like micro learning is not going to be the end all be all. But I definitely see in the educational setting that micro learning could be better. Teachers, they want more. Of a time to do what they needs to be do what needs to be done as far as their lesson planning and planning for their kids and things like that. But I definitely could see how micro learning can help, doing different trainings that they may need and might not necessarily hold all their time up, because you have modules and videos and things of that nature. And so definitely I can see how micro learning can help with that. But I also can see on a business level how you maximize the people's time, because the big thing is that you want to make sure you maximize people time where they have you. So if you have them from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, it's definitely important that when you're trying to train them or you're trying to work them, you're trying to make sure they're as productive as possible. But at the same time, you still want to build up them. Like you want to make sure that you're training them what they need. You want to make sure they're getting better and constantly growing. And so I definitely can see that how micro learning has a point in there. So it's very very interesting because, like I say, I see the rise in it and I see the growth in it. And so in class, definitely learn about adult learners and how this kind of a new thing kind of coming about. Definitely something that it's like I seen micro learning, but I never heard of the concept as far as like the name. So like when we talked about kind of the different examples in class, I was like, okay, I've heard of that before. I've seen that before, but definitely not the sense of, like I said, official term for it. I thought it was just more of virtual learning or just kind of goes into the, you're learning on a computer and things of that nature. But definitely, you know, understanding micro learning and seeing how it's the wave, and definitely, coming into an HR field where I'm gonna be training people and, in that learning and development stage, using micro learning definitely can help me. Especially when some things don't necessarily need to be a whole session, or some things you need to just reinforce. And so micro learning is a great way to reinforce something that you already put out there, especially if it's for productivity standpoint, just to make sure that people get what they need, and that's a reminder. So it's definitely important. And so micro learning to me is essential. I can't wait to learn more about it, from a standpoint of just seeing more and more companies use it. And so that's kind of my spill for episode 4. I thank you for watching. And so just be on the lookout for the next episodes. Thank you, and thank you.